That is awesome. That is fun.
It's been too long.
And it's been a first too, because the collabs we've been doing are never live in the same room.
That's
right?
very true. In fact, we have played together once before, but never in person, as you say.
That's right. Yeah.
That's really, really cool.
Yeah, that was fun.
Awesome. Very nice.
GuitCon 2017, first video of the day.
Yeah, first video of the day. Took some setting up, but we've got there at the end.
We got it.
Yeah, man, it's really, really good to be here. It's kind of exciting.
I think last time I saw you was either at NAMM or was it Dweezilla, maybe? That was a while back.
Which is 2013.
Yep.
A long time ago. So, yeah, it's about time,
yes.
Mr. Wallman.
Yeah,
about time.
A Quayle-Wallman reunion in the same room.
Absolutely,
awesome.
with guitars in hand, which is even better.
Yes.
So I guess what we were going to do, we thought it'd be kind of cool to, actually I guess we're looking at this camera, kind of cool, that one there. Right there. Kind of cool to kind of talk through, that was a C minor blues, that was one of your backing tracks?
Yeah, from Guitar Playback.
Very cool backing track, I must
thank
say.
you. Well, actually, I've got to thank Javier Loaiza, who's the content producer for the website. So, Javier, you're awesome.
Thanks a lot, Javier. That was very fun to play over. We thought we'd talk through some of the approaches to that.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting, actually, because a minor blues, you can do quite a lot on a minor blues, and you can keep things very simple, thematic, very kind of, you know, you don't have to go crazy, or you can go harmony crazy. So
yes.
Let's talk through the approach. So why don't you start?
Okay.
And tell us what you were thinking on that tune, some of the things that you do, so on and so forth. So the guys.
Well, I was thinking I'm playing with Tom Quayle in the video. I've got to, you know. No, I would, well, a little bit. Yeah, so yeah, the progression itself, really fairly simple. We've heard it before, and typically when I play, I try not to overthink things too much. Right. Like the overthinking part is like in the practice session, like learning all the modes and all that.
Really important thing to say, yeah.
And it's kind of interesting that we're talking about this here because there's this little mini controversy on my website, on my channel. Been doing a lot more theory stuff. And some viewers come in first, they don't know the history, and they're who's this guy? Like he talks about Phrygian dominant, and all those things, and over a blues track. And there's this debate, like theory kills feelings.
Absolutely, yeah.
And
I mean, absolutely, there's a debate. I don't
right,
yeah. That's the debate.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so back to what I'm thinking, I'm trying not to think about all those things. I'm aware of them. But when I'm actually playing, I hear sounds, and those sounds are generated by the practice session. You get used to a certain sound.
Yeah.
And the analogy is like, GuitCon is in Germany here. I don't speak German.
Ah, the language analogy.
Yeah.
I like it, yes.
And so you're thrown into a new country, and you pick up a few words here and there. But at first, like if I talk to the hotel guy or whatever, like I'm really thinking analytically about what he's saying, trying to pick up words here and there, and that's the thought process. So when I speak German, which I don't,
no, do I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if I did, it would be very analytical, very robotic, very, and but here, I make sure that I use tools that that I've been used to before, and so it's really more guided towards the ear. The only thing that I try to kind of prepare is that on the last chord, the turnaround, you know, that I can afford going outside, and it'll always sound good as long as rhythmically it's...
I noticed you did some more, I don't know if it was shape-based outside playing, but you were doing some stuff that was very outside.
Yeah.
That seemed, was it based on a shape?
I think I was doing whole tone
You were doing a whole tone thing.
Stuff.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't think in terms of whole tone or anything like that. I think very much in terms of rhythm when I have to go outside.
Okay, yeah. And then resolving rhythmically back to the one chord in this case.
Yeah, because really my approach when playing outside is the listener's going to be, you know, lost anyways, harmonically, but we still need to like have this string that is attaching him to what we're doing. Yeah. And for me, it's the rhythm. Like if the rhythm's okay, any other note is going to work. It's going to be outside, but then resolve.
Yeah, in that context, I always think of it like a drum fill. So the drummer will always place a drum fill, 4th bar, 8th bar, whatever, in order to create some tension that brings us back around rhythmically to 1.
Yep.
And they can do pretty much anything they want, and the idea is just to create a tension. So you can do the same thing harmonically or rhythmically, but generally harmonically because we're talking about playing outside. So,
exactly.
So yeah, I mean, it's interesting in a way because when we think very similarly then, but I am thinking constantly of I'm trying to keep myself interested as much as the listener. In some ways, I'm a little bit kind of thinking too much about what I want to do as opposed to the listener. I'm very guilty of that sometimes. But I'm thinking on this tune of different harmonic devices that I can use, but I'm not thinking of them. And then I guess the key to this really is those harmonic devices. They're like flags in my brain. So for instance, on the turnaround, you've got an A flat 7 chord or an A flat 13, whatever it is. There I'm definitely thinking, okay, I can play A flat Lydian dominant. So it seems like you should be able to just play over that stuff and have it very organic and not think too much about it. And by thinking about it, it removes you from the process. But like you were saying, if you've practiced that stuff so much that it's a language that's really easy for you to talk, then it just comes out as music. So the flag goes up saying Lydian dominant, but that still allows you to express yourself because you've spent hours practicing and practicing and practicing. So I think it can be a bit dangerous to think that theory disconnects you from the emotional or feeling. I was going to grab my heart then. And
it is very poetic. It touched me a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't disconnect you at all from the kind of emotional aspect of music. You can do both. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So in terms of like what you were playing over, if we can be start scientific and then get slightly less scientific. So what were you using harmonically?
Well, a lot of pentatonic stuff, a lot of minor pentatonic. And then, and I would recommend people start with that, like C minor pentatonic if it's the C minor blues thing. But then maybe start thinking in terms of chord changes. So whenever a chord changes, think about target tones within the chords first, 'cause that's safe, and then maybe outside, like add the 9th or 13th or whatever. And then once you blend those things, I think it's a good spot to start experimenting with more exotic sounds and stuff. But I think rhythm, like you said, is really, really important.
I think it's the most important.
I think so too.
Rhythm and time feel. Are the most because you can literally. Have you ever seen that Scott Henderson video where he plays? He's like.
Yes. Yeah.
We all know what tune it is, but it's like So the rhythmic side of things is much more important. I mean, I have a very harmonic based approach, and I'll do things like I'll outline the 5 chord leading into F minor 7. I'll play an altered scale over the G7 at the end, that kind of thing. I don't even, was there a G7 chord at the end?
I don't think there was. I think it was all minor 7, but it sounded okay.
I was implying,
you're implying,
implying various things, and they work because at that point in the tune, you can imply tension and then release. So,
exactly,
there's so many things that you could do, but the key, and you hit the nail on the head, and you always do with this, is that phrasing first, melodic stuff first, and then move into the creative stuff. It's a bit easy for guitar players to think, right, if I know this G altered scale, that's going to make me sound 10 times better. But in actual fact, you'll get on a jam session and somebody who only knows pentatonic scale but can phrase better than you will blow you away. And sound much better than you. And appeal more to people.
And I think guitar players are guilty of that. We tend to think that we're playing for guitar players, and it's true for a lot of YouTube stuff, but I think within each guitar player, there's also a music lover who just likes to be told stories.
Nice. That is a really good way of looking at it, actually. Because that's what you were originally anyway. You weren't a guitar player when you first picked up guitar.
Right, exactly.
And so you were attracted to it, not because of all the weird scales and the names for things and how exotic everything was and the science behind it, but you were attracted just by the sounds it made, by the phrasing of your favourite players. You didn't even know it was phrasing, you just thought it was cool.
And I think it's kind of like kids learn how to talk, and they tell stories to their parents, and their parents are engaged with the story. Like my daughter, she's 3, tells me stuff, and I love it. It's so much fun. Is it grammatically correct? No, but it sounds awesome, and if it starts there, then
I like it. That's true.
And in a few years she'll know how to spell, and that's cool. But it's never going to take away from her personality, hopefully.
Absolutely.
And I've never seen that happen in the real world.
And of course, it can make her story more kind of involved or more descriptive. But it doesn't change the essence of the fact whether you were engaged with the story or not.
And I think if you keep that, what you said in mind, like learning theory is going to allow you to add more details to the story. But it's not going to take away from the original story.
Absolutely not. No, absolutely. So in actual fact, turns out, what a surprise, we think very similarly anyway.
We do, I
mean, it's not that surprising, really, because we've both been improvising a very long time. So it's just the way that you end up doing things. It's more about the phrasing and more about the ears. And the knowledge is there, but it has to be there to the point where it's completely subconscious.
Exactly.
If you have to draw it from somewhere very difficult, and then by the time you've drawn it and you found out where it is on the fretboard, the music's bypassed you. You're just no longer playing music. And sometimes it does happen to me, and sometimes I know when I'm not playing music anymore.
But we know, and that's key too. We're aware of it.
If you can see it happening, you can try and stop it. So I guess why don't we jam over one more thing? You've got another A minor backing track. And they're cool. You should get his backing tracks because they sound really, really awesome.
Javier's backing track.
Javier's backing track. I keep doing that.
That's all right.
David has slaved for hours making backing tracks. This one, just tell me, because I've not played over this, tell me a little bit about it.
Honestly, I haven't either. I think it's an A, but...
Javier, we're going to play over this now. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Neither of us know what's going to happen. Okay,
you want to start?
Name on it. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, let's hit it.
Great stuff.
Yeah,
really
thanks so much. With you.
And yes, enjoy
5 more days of
GuitCon.
this. Yes. You too. Thanks so much for watching, everyone.
Bye bye.
See you next time.
Bye bye.